What's going on, YouTube world? Austin Lewis here, coming to you guys live with another YouTube video. We are pumping out the content. In this video, we are actually going to be doing a... What video are we doing? Maserati review. Share with you guys some specs, a little bit about this car. You know, it is a 2015 Maserati Ghibli SQ4, creative bespoke design. Shout out to those guys, Gangster Size Larry's a baller. This Maserati is actually stage 2. You know, it pushes right around, I would say, 420 to 440 in horsepower. It is rear wheel drive, so these tires do spin if I want them to. You know, I added a little pedal deal that actually gets a little better pedal response, as well as the tune for the car. You know, I've always been a car guy. I've always loved different cars. I've always been an Italian car guy. You know, I love Ferraris. That's actually going to be my next car. But, you know, the reason I bought this Maserati is just because I fell in love with the sleek design. You know, I fell in love with the angles, the curves, the entire part of this car is just unbelievably gorgeous. It stands out massively, right? Because this car is built by a certain individual and certain look, to where it doesn't look like your standard Maserati Ghibli. And as you guys saw in the B-roll before, like that, like it's the side skirts, the front bumpers, the rear bumpers, the lips, the whole nine. It just doesn't look anything like, obviously, as well as the wheels. It has no regular design. No part of this car is actually stock. And I mean, I have carbon fiber in my interior as well, my steering wheel. So, you know, the reason I fell in love with the car was just because of the uniqueness. The uniqueness of the Maserati design. And truthfully, like when I was younger, I drove Maseratis every now and then, but they were always the Quattroportes. They were never the Ghiblis. They were never, you know, I drove the GT because I actually was more interested in purchasing a GT just because I loved the look of them. But I liked having 4 doors so I could have people sit in the back, aka go to red. You know, it's a dope little squad car. You know, it's great for your daily driver. It's great for your grocery getter. It's also great when, you know, you're in a semi-rush and you want to make Noah's camera go through the window if you really want to. Of course, we're in a school zone, so we won't do that. But you guys will see some flyby in this video, so definitely stay tuned to that. 0 to 60 on this car. I think a standard Ghibli is right around 4.9 to 4.7. On this car, I'm gonna say it's in the high 3s and low 4s at a max. And again, you just gotta remember it's got 4 doors. 4 doors for more, whatever you wanna call them. You know, and realistically, it's one of a kind, especially here in Arizona. There's not a whole lot of other individuals. Well, really, there's 2 other cars that look exactly like this, and they're different colors that are driving around on the roads here in Scottsdale. There's a couple more in California, a couple in New York, which I don't know why you drive a Maserati in New York. I don't know why you drive a car in general in New York. So, you know, I'm just gonna share with you guys what I like about the car, what I don't like about the car. What I love about the car is, again, that sleek, that design, that fast. You know, that sucker scoots. You know what I mean? I mean, it does scoot. One part that I don't like, are you ready for this? Is I'm getting, as you guys can see, hopefully we can zoom in, 12.8 miles per gallon. Some people are like, Austin, why give a shit about the I care about the gas mileage. I don't care about the gas mileage. You guys just wanted me to share that with you in the video. Sorry, no. See, it's quick. The reason I share with you guys that downside is I do gotta fill up the car quite a bit. It takes like 65 bucks to fill the car completely full. Of course, this car takes only premium, so you know, gas is a little bit more expensive. Another downside to this, and a lot of you guys are gonna say, well, Austin, why would this be a downside? Because you love the look, you love the way it is. The front of the car is so long compared to where the wheels are. Getting phone calls. Compared to where the wheels are. So any like steep curb, always, and I just paid a couple grand to fix my front bumper because it was scratched up and everything. So that is another downside to everything. Like I go completely sideways over speed bumps. I go completely sideways pulling into a restaurant or pulling into a garage or anything, or a driveway or anything like that, just because the car on the front end is, we already have springs on this car, so the car is already a little bit lowered. And so the front of the car is that much lower to the ground, and redoing these front bumpers like is not cheap. You know, it is only rear wheel drive. A lot of you guys are like, awesome, why would you even care about that? Because you live in Arizona. You know, every now and then we like to go up to Flagstaff and places that actually have snow. So, you know, it's not a car I can bring there. Obviously we have other vehicles that can do that, but you know, that's a downside as well. You know, if you're in a city or a state that it snows, I definitely would not recommend having a Maserati. I would not at all recommend having a Maserati because, again, it's rear wheel drive. It's just like owning a BMW that's rear wheel drive, and I mean, you can't get around. It's just a matter of the fact. And the horsepower is so high that when you step on the gas, this car is not meant to be driven regular. I mean, you can put it in grandma mode, you know what I mean, take it out of sport and do that whole thing, but again, you can just tell that this car loves to go, and it loves to be stepped on, and especially with my tune and the pedal and the whole nine, right? So another plus to this car is just the driving down the road. It looks like $100,000 car. You know, I think these retail brand new at like $78,000 or $76,000. And when you look at this car, it looks like $100,000 car. So that is a plus, you know. I mean, there's people that don't know cars that think this is a $100,000 car, when in all reality, it's not a $100,000 car, but it looks like a $100,000 car. So that is a plus. You know, when you're driving into a valet, or you're going up to, you know, let's just say a restaurant and you're valeting the car, this is a car, because of the look, because of the sleek design, because of the brand of Maserati, they are going to put this up top, you know. That is an added benefit. But that just like shares with you guys, you know, the attention to detail that people have. And that's one thing I want to bring up to you guys right now, the attention to detail that Maserati, that these individuals that built these cars actually have. The attention to detail with, you know, where the buttons are, with the steering wheel, with the placement of everything, with, you know, the kind of screen, with the clock in the dash, in the middle of the dash, so everybody can see it. Just that like very classy, sleek feel, design, the whole nine. I absolutely love the car. Every single time I get into the car, I'm excited to drive the car. The lighting's not going to be good because we're going under a tunnel. But every time I get into this car, I'm excited to drive the car. In all reality, it is very difficult to not drive the car how the car wants to be driven. So that part, you know, depends on how you look. It's fun, right? Shoot. What else, Coda, right? What's something that's a downside to this car? Well, insurance. Insurance is a downside to this car. It is technically considered an exotic car. Exotic cars on insurance, they are pretty pricey. But other than that, I absolutely love the vehicle. I absolutely love the car. I've tried to sell it multiple times, and I just can't get myself to sell it, which sucks, but it's great at the same time because I love the car. I don't want to get rid of the car. I am gonna keep the car because I just love the car. You know, if I were you guys and you guys were interested in getting into a lower end exotic car, I definitely highly recommend actually getting a Maserati, depending on what kind. I drove the GTs like I was sharing with you guys earlier. I did not like the GTs at all because they have a single clutch, and I absolutely hated the single clutch feeling. The reason I love the Ghiblis is just simply due to the fact that the technology in the car is a lot newer than the technology inside the GTs. You know, the single clutch is just like driving a 2007 or 2009 Lamborghini Gallardo. Like, just not fun. Like, you know, just not great cars. When you shift, it's like, Where these cars, you know, are a way better system. The overall technology inside the car is way better. You know, obviously the car's got Bluetooth and everything else. It's got some pretty, you know, decent speakers. I think they're like Bose speakers inside of them. Again, if I were you guys, highly recommend a Maserati. Definitely get into the car. It's a great daily driver. Like I said, it's great for the grocery getter, but it's also great when you're looking to turn heads as well. So if I were you guys, go purchase some Maserati Ghibli. Get yourself some hands on this thing and have a blast with the car.